I had this moment to kind of think about the past and the journey that I've had. That was like my time to detox when I would be away. Because, you know, if you go out and pursue something and I know I'm going to do it and nobody's going to tell me I can't, and everybody... Good time when you're not, there's no pressure to make something.
Yeah, but you've leaned into the anticipation on this record in a...
Of rapper Kanyewest, who signed him to Good Music in 2008. With That Night issued as a lead single, he released his debut studio album, Man on the Moon, The End of the Day in 2009. To critical and commercial success, receiving quadruple platinum certification by the Record Industry Association of America. It spawned the follow-up singles Make Say, featuring Kanye, and Pursuit of Happiness. His self-produced third album, Kidcudi, in 2013, peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200. It was led by platinum certified single Just What I Am, and served as his final release with Good Music. It was followed by the typically received experimental albums Satellite Flight, The Journey of Mother Moon, and Speeding Moon to Heaven. By the way, Speeding Moon to Heaven was, in my opinion, a terrible album. It was experimental, but the wrong type of experimental, if you know what I mean. His sixth album, Passion, Pain, and Demon Slayer, 2016, saw an improvement in critical reception and was supported by lead single Surfing featuring Pharrell Williams. Kid Cudi is a big inspiration to a lot of hip-hop and alternative acts. His lyrics are often autobiographical, describing childhood experiences of depression, loneliness, alienation, the struggle with drugs into adulthood, and themes of spirituality and heartbreak, dissipation, and celebration. The majority of his impact stems from his ability to display vulnerability and address mental health. He's noted for experimental nature combining psychedelia, R&B, electronica.
You know, this whole time.
Does it ever feel disconcerting as well at times, feeling like people kind of know your inner workings, but you're still trying to figure it out for you?
I feel like because I'm so transparent, you know, people kind of know that, hey, he's human. I mean, at some point I did feel like, oh, people are gonna get to this place where they're gonna be like, okay, you should have it figured out by now. But
that's interesting.
I truly feel like people understand and they know, and a lot of people deal with the same shit.
I don't think any of us have. I mean, what does figuring it out even mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
where's the journey in that, right?
And that's what I had to discover with myself, you know, because I'm thinking there's a quick fix, and then boom, everything's good, and life is great forever, and there's no more problems. But that's not reality, and that's something I learned when I was in rehab, and I realized that, you know, you grow and you learn and you get these tools that you have, so when you are in a similar situation again, you know how to handle it. Where before you didn't have the tools and you crumbled, you know? So like this time around, I was dealing with things and I was able to handle them way differently than I might have, you know, 4 or 5 years ago.
You know, it's great to hear because you've been giving people tools through your music and through your art as well.
Yeah.
And we'll cover that and everything else, and congrats on this new album. I can't wait to dive into it.
Oh, thank you.
But given that we're in a conversation space, right, and we're here in Los Angeles, and this is a nice place to have a conversation, I always think about the idea of a conversation and what it means to the people I'm talking to, and like, what was a really meaningful conversation in your life, or one of the most meaningful conversations that you can remember in your life that really helped you at that moment when you needed it? Or who has been that for you? Who's the person who really pushes you and gets that information out of you and pushes you to speak to yourself?
I don't know if there was like one person that pushed me. I think that was part of a little bit of the darkness, is that I had no guidance, truly. Everything, you know, came from me, this drive. You know, it was all like conversations I would have with myself. I would always just not really talk to myself, but, you know, I would have like visions of, you know, success and living my dreams and you know, having a family and having my mom around to see my grandkids and I mean, her grandkids and
And your grandkids, maybe.
And my grandkids too. Yeah.
It's funny how you manifest that, you know, and then you sort of take a look back at certain points in your life. You allow yourself the space to reflect. You know, if you really do manifest it, if you really visualize it and stick to that, it kind of happens. Is it sort of how you imagined it to be?
Yeah.
Despite the challenges?
I kind of imagined up until like I got my record deal and I dropped my first album. After that, like, it's all just like, whoa to me, you know? Like, I'm just really fucking happy to be here, you know? Like, I'm doing what I love to do and people love it and they respond to it and it's helping people in a major way. That's like the illest. That's the best shit ever.
It's the same for us, because we know how tough it is for artists. Fans really do know how hard it is for the artistic spirit to navigate through a lot of challenges, personally, professionally. It's stacked, especially when you have success as quick as you did. And the fact that we're here being able to talk about the third of the trio, as the trilogy reaches its conclusion with Man on the Moon 3. It's so funny, you know, I listened to this album, obviously, but in really unusual circumstances, because it was sent to me, and I totally get it, in a very protective way. It was like, here's one stream, you gotta listen to it start to finish, you can't skip or fast forward, and at the end of that stream, gone, right? so it was like, which I love, by the way, because it just heightened the whole experience for me. Imagine if we listened to music like that now. Imagine if there wasn't the whole streaming era. And this is how that was the evolution. That was it. What would be the album that you would have listened to the most, do you think, start to finish in that environment throughout your life?
Oh man, maybe Stank on You.
Yeah.
It'd have to be an Outkast album, you know, Speaker Box, Love Below. Yeah.
It makes total sense. That's actually where an influence and the influenced makes total sense.
Yeah.
Because they've always come from somewhere else altogether.
Yeah.
And really, I think, relished in their outsiderness, their alienness.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Kind of adding value as they move forward. And that's kind of what Man on the Moon as a concept is, right? The isolation, almost like Space Oddity, is what I've always gotten out of it.
Yeah.
Isolation on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Through a metaphor. Is that kind of what it's always been for you? Like feeling this loneliness, but surrounded by all these people and all this energy?
Yeah, definitely. That was really my life at that time. Over the years, it's gotten better. Like I've surrounded myself with, you know, people I trust and I keep my good, real friends close. But at that time, early on, yeah, for sure.
Was it comforting at times? The anxiety of isolation, being in your own space?
Yeah, that's when I did my best work. When I wrote my best shit, or when my best ideas were conceived, you know? I had a lot of time to just sit and think, and whether it was, you know, designing the album packaging or thinking of sets for my tour, I was always like plotting something. I was always like figuring it out. Because I always took it like, oh, I'm some art student that just got some crazy grant to make whatever he wants to make.
Album. On August 12th, Kidcudi released a lead single from Cudi titled Just What I Am, featuring his friend, longtime collaborator King Chip. The album was announced to be released in early 2013, with Cudi focused on scoring movies, photoed by the third installment of Man on the Moon series. Cudi then added that Cudi will feature more up-tempos and that it will consist of most 17 new songs. The music video for Just What I Am, which marked Kidcudi's directorial debut, premiered November 6, 2012 on Vivo and was shot in Los Angeles, with fans invited to participate in the video shoot. On November 7th, he revealed the album's second official single titled Immortal. It was produced by himself again, like Just What I Am and King Wizard. He claimed the song will make you feel amazing in heart and soul. The song was officially released via iTunes on March 14, 2013.
You know,
challenging being in a creative environment with someone that you feel is developing views that are opposed to yours, and is there a line in the creative relationship where you can't work with someone anymore?
I think in my situation it's a little bit more complicated. Me personally, I just pray on it and walk in the light, and like the new Scott is not angry at anyone. The new Scott doesn't have beef with anyone, you know, and I just try to like focus on that. Like, you know, any past thing I ever had, you know, sometimes it's been, you know, I might fall out with somebody and never talk to them ever again. And then sometimes, you know, I'll fall out with somebody and might not talk for a couple years, and then we reconnect and it's squashed and it's all good, you know? So it depends, you know, it's like friendships, you know, but really it's beyond friendship, it's about when it's like brotherly, sisterly shit, you know, family shit, it's just a little bit more complicated, you know?
And you feel that with him? You feel that brotherly thing that
yeah,
through thick and thin?
Yeah, definitely. And siblings hurt you the most, you know? So you go through things, but family is always there. You know, you don't give up on family. And I think, you know, in the thick of it, when it was going down, I wanted to walk away. I wanted to give up. But in thinking about it, the past couple years, it's like, you know, this is someone who is my brother, ultimately, who came into my life and championed me and did things for me that nobody else did for me early on in my career. You know, I mean, people don't even know that Kanye paid for the first Day and Night video when I didn't have a deal. Just was like, he needs a video, so I'm gonna pay for it. Got Somi to shoot it, like Somi, the illest first director, like, didn't know me, was sure just doing a favor, you know, and like, you know, so shit like that, you know, like, it's like I had this moment to kind of think about the past and the journey that I've had with this person. And, you know, I just, I know that in his soul, there is a good man there, because I've seen it. And, you know, you don't give up on people, you know? He's learning and he's growing. He knows he made some mistakes, and, you know, I think that that's the beauty of it. This is a beautiful thing. It's like he knows he's been on one hell of a ride. And he knows he's said some things that you might not be able to come back from in a lot of realms, in a lot of spaces from certain people, you know? But, you know, we grow. And I think I pray for him, and that's my brother. And you know, the reason why we became cool again is because he apologized to me, and it was sincere. I was just like, wow, Kanye does not apologize to anyone. He doesn't say sorry to anyone. And you know, that's my brother, man. I know he loves me, and there's just nothing like Kanye and Cudi, you know. We like the duo that everybody loves to see, you know.
The chemistry, as you said, is undeniable.
Yeah,
it is. It's just
beyond the music.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. It goes beyond notes and melody and tempo and words. It's something very magic about that.
If I were to
When they hear this album, when we hear this album and going forward, what is that song? How does it fit?
Oh man, that's kind of like that spiritual hymn, that Cudi classic spiritual hymn, or like, Lord, I know you can make it right. You'll always have someone looking out for you, you know, and you're not alone in this. And I think that that's one of the messages that I want people to pick up on the album is the fact that there is someone looking out for you on this journey. And this might seem like you're out there on your own and it's crazy and there's a lot of shit happening. But, you know, I do believe in something that's looking out for us and keeping us safe, you know?